Welcome to the deep dive. If you're managing any modern network, you know the perimeter is, well, it's dead.
It's long gone.
You have servers, routers, corporate laptops, maybe some climate sensors, and definitely a host of employee mobile phones. They're all demanding access.
And they're all trusted until they're not. That's really the core tension, isn't it?
It is.
The goal has shifted. It's not about building a fortress anymore. It's about ensuring that every single connection is managed, monitored, and controlled in real time.
Right. Whether a device is fully trusted, totally untrusted, or just unknown, you have to have rules for it instantly.
You do.
So the administrative challenge isn't just about blocking the bad guys anymore. It's about defining at a massive scale how you vet and authorize the good guys.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Our mission today is to deep dive into the philosophy behind modern network access control, or NAC. Specifically, we're looking at the capabilities within the FortiNAC CF system. We've pulled our insights directly from materials focused on high-level administration and design.
And this deep dive is, I think, really crucial because it shows how one system tries to address all that chaos. I mean, when we boil it down, modern NAC is really built on three inseparable pillars.
Okay.
First, you have to get total granular network visibility. Second, you have to consistently enforce dynamic policy. And third, and this is critical, you have to automate the security response before a human can even get involved.
And we're diving into the architecture that makes all three of those things happen.
We are.
That sounds like a heavy lift. So let's start at the very foundation, visibility. You can't control what you can't see.
You can't. And that's the whole point of this first pillar, infrastructure management. You need a map.
A reliable working map.
Precisely. And it has to be a dynamic map, not just some static asset list you printed out 6 months ago.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting. In this environment, that foundational map is called the model inventory. Now, most people hear inventory and they just think, oh, it's a list of things.
Right.
But what is its operational purpose here?
So the key takeaway is that this model inventory, it's not a passive spreadsheet. It's the NAC system's essential operational map. Its main job is to define and maintain the managed network infrastructure devices.
Your switches, your routers.
Exactly, your core components. And crucially, it specifies their characteristics, the communication methods they need, and their management capabilities. It's basically the instruction manual for the hardware.
So it's not just listing the switch model. It's confirming, okay, this specific switch uses this version of SNMP, here are its command line credentials, and here are the ports I'm allowed to control.
Without that detail, the system is completely blind. It's the difference between seeing a street sign and knowing the precise GPS coordinates.
Okay.
If the NAC system doesn't know how to talk to the switch, it can't trust the switch. And if it can't trust the switch, it can't enforce any policies through it.
So that map tells the system how to talk to the hardware. But how does it know where a connecting device, let's say your mobile phone, is physically located on that map?
For that, it needs the managed switch to report its own internal seating chart. And for that, we rely on the venerable Simple Network Management Protocol,
Right.
SNMP.
Right.
FortiNAC CF uses SNMP to read the bridge table of those managed switches.
Okay, let's break down bridge table for everyone because that sounds a little like expert jargon.
It does, but it's simple. Think of the bridge table like the switch's internal real-time seating chart.
A seating chart, I like that.
It's the mechanism that says definitively, MC address A is sitting at port 5 on switch X. That's it. This bridge table information is essential because it lets the system tie a specific MBase C address to a physical switch port.
So it knows exactly where the device is.
Instantly, which is critical for, accountability and any kind of microsegmentation you want to do later.
So SNMP is the language and the bridge table is the location report. But, I mean, we all know networking is never that clean. What happens when you get your map set up and suddenly one of those managed switches just goes silent? What's the simplest, most common troubleshooting step?
Oh, this is often the biggest facepalm moment for network admins.
I can imagine.
If a device isn't responding, the first step is surprisingly basic. You have to verify the SNMP and CLI credentials in that device model we just talked about.
It's the password.
It's almost always the password. Incorrect credentials, maybe a password expired or a key was just mistyped. It's the most common block. The system just won't proceed until it's 100% sure it can securely command that hardware.
It's the digital equivalent of forgetting the key to the server room.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so we've established our map. We've confirmed the hardware is talking. Now we can pivot to the second pillar, policy and control.
Right. We move from discovery to organization.
This is where we stop treating every connecting device as a unique puzzle and start grouping them.
Exactly. Based on trust and intent.
And the primary tool for that is the user host profile. So why is defining a profile so much more efficient than just writing, I don't know, a million individual device rules?
It's all about getting consistent policy application at scale. I mean, a user host profile is used to categorize users or devices based on some kind of shared attribute.
Like they're all marketing laptops.
Right. Or if they share the contractor role, or they're all IP phones.
Yeah.
By defining these shared attributes, you can then enforce access control consistently across all of them at the same time.
So you write one rule for the profile.
And it applies to thousands of devices. It dramatically reduces your configuration sprawl and, frankly, your administrative overhead.
That consistency is key. Now, let's talk about a device that should be compliant but isn't. Maybe that corporate laptop is missing a critical patch. It connects, but it fails the security check. You can't just let it on the main network.
No, absolutely not. That non-compliant device needs to be contained, and that is the job of what are called isolation VLANs, specifically the remediation VLAN.
Right, the remediation VLAN. What's so fascinating here is that it doesn't just block the device entirely and frustrate the user.
No, because that would paralyze operations. You'd create so much friction.
So what does it do?
The remediation VLAN, it restricts normal network access, so it can't touch critical servers.
Right.
But it permits limited connectivity to specific remediation services.
So it can still reach the update server.
Exactly. It can pull the latest patches, download required antivirus definitions, or get to the internal help documentation. You're giving it a path to fix itself.
So you're applying a temporary, very constrained zero trust model. You isolate it, but you give it the tools to regain compliance. That is smart.
It is. It shifts the burden of compliance back onto the device without creating an unnecessary risk.
That containment brings us neatly into the third pillar, real-time security and automation. Because when an actual threat arrives, we can't wait for a human to read an alert.
Time is the enemy. Automation is the only defense. You need instantaneous detection and instantaneous reaction.
Okay, let's start with detection. We said FortiNAC CF uses SNMP to read the seating chart, but how does it know instantly when someone plugs a new device into a switch port? It can't be polling constantly. That would just crush the network.
Right, that would be incredibly wasteful. It avoids that. Instead, FortiNAC CF relies on the switch to actively tell it what's happening. It receives notifications through SNMP traps.
The switch sends a trap.
The switch is responsible for raising its hand and shouting, basically.
Oh, I like that.
These traps are immediate asynchronous alerts about port status changes. It's an elegant, instantaneous signal that enables the timely detection of a connection or a disconnection without the NSC system having to constantly check everything.
The moment that port state changes, the system knows. Okay, and when that signal points to real trouble, something more severe than a missing patch, like malicious traffic, that can trigger the most severe automated action, automatic quarantine. What's the specific trigger for that kind of immediate isolation?
So that action, it requires a deeper security context. Automatic quarantine is initiated when there's a detection of a high-risk security event coming from a fabric-joined device.
So another part of the security system, like a firewall, sees something bad.
Exactly. Typically through integration with the Fortinet security fabric.
Yeah.
A firewall or an IPS detects a threat coming from a specific MSC address, and it tells the NNC system.
The moment it sees smoke, it slams the digital fire door shut.
That's it. It's an automated response designed to immediately isolate that device to prevent any lateral movement. It moves faster than any human operator ever could.
So if you're the administrator tracking all this real-time chaos connections, compliance failures, quarantines, where do you go to see it all in one place?
You go right to the FortiNAC CF dashboard. That's the primary interface. It's designed to give you that real-time, consolidated summary of active risks, alerts, and the overall system status.
The cockpit view.
The cockpit view. It's where all those instant notifications converge into something you can actually act on.
That covers the internal loop for corporate devices. But networks today are defined by mobile devices, and those are often outside your immediate control. Which moves us into our next section. External context and historical visibility.
Right, this is about realizing that security posture has to extend beyond the LAN cable. You have to integrate external trust signals to make better internal policy decisions.
Okay, let's talk about that critical link. Why would an administrator absolutely need to integrate FortiNAC with a mobile device management system, an MDM?
The primary reason is it's critical. It allows the NSC system to pull the mobile device's detailed health report, its compliance status.
A health report.
Yeah. Mobile devices are managed by the MDM platform, right? The NSC system can't easily interrogate their OS directly, so it relies on the MDM to report back. Is the device jailbroken? Is it encrypted? Is the MDM profile healthy?
So it's extending that security audit right out to the device in someone's pocket if the MDM says that phone is non-compliant.
FortiNAC can instantly deny or constrain its access using the same policies we've been talking about.
So it's closing that huge security gap created by bring your own device.
It is. Without that MDM integration, you just have a massive blind spot when it comes to mobile endpoint health.
Now let's switch from real-time to historical context. Auditing, troubleshooting. That requires looking backward. If an incident happened last week, and you need to see exactly what an employee's device did, where do you find that definitive history?
For that, you need the comprehensive auditing tool, which is the host view.
The host view.
This view gives you a detailed historical log of every single network connection for a specific device. It's vital for forensics and compliance.
What kind of details does it track that make it so critical?
Well, it doesn't just record the initial connection. It tracks all the connection events, any IP address assignments over time, and crucially, the associated switch ports the device used.
Even if it moved around the office?
Even if it moves 5 times in a single day. It's the full itinerary. It gives you irrefutable proof of where that device was and when.
That transforms reactive troubleshooting into proactive, defensible auditing.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground here really fast. We went from the foundational map right through to quarantine and historical logs. So what does this all mean? Well, if we synthesize this whole deep dive, what we're seeing is how a modern NAC system acts as the central enforcer, auditor, and first responder for the whole network.
Right.
We unpack 3 core functions. First, network visibility through that model inventory in SNMP. Second, precise control using the user profiles and those crucial remediation VLANs. And third, rapid response, which is all driven by SNMP traps and the automatic quarantine action.
It fundamentally changes network security. It's no longer about a static perimeter. It's a dynamic, real-time trust assessment. Every device has to prove its compliance the moment it connects.
Exactly. And that reliance on automated instantaneous isolation, the remediation, the quarantine, that is the absolute cornerstone of the zero trust approach we've been discussing.
The response time is measured in milliseconds, not minutes, which it raises an important question for you to consider as you design these systems. We've seen how effective automated isolation is for security, but as networks get denser, with more devices and more instantaneous threats, how far can we push automatic isolation before the system starts mistakenly restricting access for legitimate users?
That's the tightrope.
It is. If the system is too aggressive, the challenge shifts from managing security breaches to managing, well, operational paralysis. The future of NSC has to be about balancing that zero trust security with achieving really zero frustration connectivity.